Welcome back, H116 Culinary and Management Integrated Learning students. This is Patrick Secord, and it's my pleasure to walk you through Chapter 1 of Managers and Managing. This chapter looks at what managers do and what kinds of skills and abilities they must develop if they're to manage their organization successfully over time. We'll differentiate different kinds of managers organizations need and describe some of the kinds of activities and roles they must perform. Finally, it identifies some of the challenges that managers must address if their organizations are to be successful, to grow and prosper in this global environment and manage their workforce diversity and utilizing new technology. After this presentation, you should be able to describe the importance of management, why management is important, what managers do, how managers utilize organizational resources efficiently and effectively to achieve organizational goals. You should be able to differentiate among three levels of management and understand the responsibilities of managers at different levels in the organizational hierarchy. And finally, you can also distinguish among planning, organizing, leading, and controlling, the four main management functions, and explain how managers' ability to handle each one can affect organizational performance. So what do you think what manager is? In your field placements presently, who's your top manager where you work? What is their title? How many people report to them? Why are they in charge? And what do they do all day? And how does this contribute to the overall organization? Consider organizations as a system. It's a matter of inputs to outputs and the process in between. In this cocktail, you can add in food and beverage, labor, money, shake it up, and you have people, tasks, product, and expertise in the middle. And obviously outputs to the guest, the customer, as the food product, their enjoyment, through that pays your wages, and the cash flow right back to the system. So what do you think needs to keep the system going? You got it. It's all about management. Organizations are collections of people who work together and coordinate their actions to achieve a wide variety of goals. So managers in the managing plan, organize, lead, and control human and other resources to achieve organizational goals effectively and efficiently. We'll use these words a few times during this process. And also the resources. These include the assets such as people, machinery, and raw materials. Achieving high performance is a manager's goal. And how do they do that? It's obviously through efficient management and effective management. And we should be able to differentiate between doing things right and doing the right things. So efficiency is considered a measure of how well or productively resources are used to achieve a goal. So in this instance, perhaps human resources. A manager's responsibility is to ensure that an organization and its members perform all the activities that are needed to provide goods and services to the customers as efficiently as possible. Effectiveness, on the other hand, is a measure of the appropriateness of the goals selected by the managers. Managers who are effective are those who choose the right organizational goals to pursue and have the skills to utilize the resources efficiently. In this matrix, let's look at efficiency and effectiveness. In which quadrant do you think would be the optimum place to be for a high-performing organization? If you've chosen high, you're correct. High efficiency, high effectiveness. Managers choosing the right goals to pursue, making their good use of resources to achieve these goals, and the result is a product that customers want at a quality and a price they can afford. Here are the four functions of management. A good manager will understand that you need to plan, organize, lead, and control. So planning is choosing the appropriate goals and actions for the organization, and that's deciding which goals the organization will pursue, deciding what course of action to adopt and to attain these goals, and deciding how to allocate organizational resources to attain those goals. Organizing managers establish a structure of working relationships that allow organizational members to interact and cooperate to achieve organizational goals. So being an executive chef, I would consider the different departments in the kitchen brigade, whether it be garde manger, main kitchen, pastries, whatnot. And even within main kitchen, you can break that down into the sauce department, entremetier, and the soup stations. Leading is managers determine direction and articulate a vision and energize employees so that they can play a part in achieving goals. This involves the use of power, influence, vision, persuasion, and communication skills to coordinate behaviors of individuals. Finally, we get to controlling. And this is when managers reflect back and evaluate how well they're achieving their goals and taking corrective action to maintain or improve the performance. Constantly monitoring performance helps meet expectations, and if not, they need to take corrective measures. The control function allows managers to evaluate how well they're performing and the other three functions of management and to enable them to take the appropriate actions. So here's a situation. It's the beginning of dinner service, and you're responsible for the sauces. For whatever reason, you check the walk-in fridge, your station, there's no fresh cream. So what do you do as a line cook? And what are the priorities or the choices? If this was the third time this happened since Labor Day, would it change your answer? What would a good manager do about this? You could remove the cream from the dishes in the menu, but that's really not good, is it? I mean, you're losing sales. An average manager may just jump out to the local Loblaws but never thinks of it again. A good manager, though, will take the corrective action, ensuring the steps are followed. What's planned, how's it organized, leading it, and controlling it. Who did the ordering, and follow up on that. In this diagram, you can see the hierarchy of different levels of management, from the chief executive officer to top managers, middle managers, and first line managers. Consider now almost like the Escoffier's kitchen brigade breakdown. There could be the general manager of the hotel, followed by the different department managers, such as the executive chef. Middle managers could be the executive sous chef and or the chef de cuisine. And first line managers more along the lines of a chef de partie or sous chef. So first line managers, if you consider sous chefs, they supervise the non-managers, the line level staff, for training, showing. They focus on the day-to-day activities and goals, and lots of interpersonal time and troubleshooting. Further up are the middle managers, or under a kitchen manager. They supervise and evaluate first line managers. And then to the top managers, the general manager, controlling product lines, regions, or functions. And there's the long-term focus on planning and organization. In this diagram, you can see that example. Obviously, the top managers deal a lot more with the planning, a lot more of the controlling for how things are going. They're less in leading, because you'll find that first line managers have that much more contact with the line level employees. And first line managers, you'll notice they also have a lot less to deal with in controlling. So managerial roles and skills. There's a variety of managerial roles and specific tasks a person is expected to perform due to their position in the organization. Roles are internal as well as external. So a practical example, these suppliers, they need to know who can commit to an order. Is it the sous chef or is it the line level staff who's going to place the order? And management roles are divided into 3 role categories. Mintzberg actually mentions about 10 of them. There's interpersonal, informational, and decisional. So we break them down, these 3, into the 10. Interpersonal roles are a figurehead, a leader, and a liaison. Informational are monitor, disseminator, and spokesperson. And decisional, entrepreneur, negotiator, disturbance handler, and resource allocator. So far, we looked at managers being efficient and effective. We talked about different levels of management. Now let's talk about managerial roles and skills. Mintzberg basically broke them down into 3 subcategories and a total of 10 different roles. We're going to talk about interpersonal, informational, and decisional. Each role is concerned with influencing the behavior of people inside and outside of the organization, and managers may perform several roles at once. Interpersonal roles are those assumed to be effectively coordinating organization employees and provide direction and supervision. So they could be a figurehead, a leader, or a liaison. Informational roles are associated with the tasks necessary to obtain and transmit information. Plain and simple, right? As a monitor, the manager analyzes information from internal and external environments. The disseminator role is how the manager transmits information and communicates to the staff. And the spokesperson role, the manager promotes the organization to positively influence the way people inside and outside the organization respond to it. Decisional roles are associated with the methods that managers use to plan, strategize, and use resources. In this instance, the entrepreneurial role, in which projects are how they're initiated and how to invest resources. As a disturbance handler, the manager handles unexpected events that threatens the operation. Resource allocator, the manager could decide how to allocate people and resources, and the negotiator, if there are any interstaff conflicts. The chef will probably do all these roles in the course of a day. So being a manager has a variety of different pressures. There's high variety, there's fragmentation, and how you decide and make those decisions could have a certain brevity. There's different issues, different impacts and topics. A lot of times if there's incomplete information, and you need to make quick decisions on the snap. And there's a lack of advance warning. So part of this also comes from having some prior knowledge, having the experience of time. So some skills managers need. They need conceptual skills, human skills, and technical skills. Conceptual skills, the ability to analyze and diagnose a situation. Human skills, the ability to understand, change, and control the behavior of others and individuals, having a little more empathy to individuals. And technical skills, specific knowledge and techniques to perform their job and those of the people they manage. I look at this more or less that I should be able to do the job before anybody else. In essence, then, if I'm going to be able to comment and feedback on it, then I should be able to know and be an expert and authority in that particular area. So let's take a look at these different managerial skills and put them in context with the different types of managers. You notice that top managers tend to be a little more heavy or more rich in conceptual skills, but less in technical skills. Whereas first-line managers or frontline managers tend to be more highly developed with their technical skills because they're the ones who will be in daily contact with line-level staff. Interestingly enough, all managers have a rich amount of human skills. They should be able to contact, empathize, and connect with staff. Some management trends that are happening is economic downsizing. Part of it is reducing the number of employees, especially the middle managers. From that, you'll hear the word now, empowerment. Most staff are being empowered to engage in decision making. And self-managed teams, employees taking the responsibility of supervising their own actions, quality, and productivity. So now's a good time to talk about our first activity. You'll notice in the following slides, and as mentioned in Blackboard, that there are 7 different types of activities. I'd like each of you to choose an activity, or a scenario of the 7, and comment back to me in the assignment section of Blackboard. So in this video, we talked about the importance of management, the business resources needed to manage, and how effectiveness and efficiency quotients are required. Describing the 4 functions of managers being planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. And identifying the skills a manager needs, whether it be conceptual, human, and technical. So managers carry out functions and skills differently and at different levels, but this concludes our video lecture for today. I look forward to our next video lecture together, and see you then.